Yo, welcome to the show. It's Boston's Banter with Frank the Bank and Keith KLava. You know the answer. Talking sports, breaking down the play so raw. From the Celtics to the Sox, we giving you the score. Catch the vibe, we coming live. Filling up your feed, let the passion thrive. Every dunk, every run, we analyze the moves. Shout out to the fans, feel the rhythm and grooves. From Gillette to the Garden, we ain't missing a beat. Frank and KLava bring the fire, can't accept defeat.
What up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is pissa. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith KLava, LaCava. What's going on, Chig Bro Conku?
Not much, Jabron Bettis.
Jerome, whatever you said, I loved it. But
Jabron,
even better, Jabroni. Anyways, episode 70. That's awesome, man. It's been great. Your boy won the Drake Maye last week.
Yeah, exactly. You got the 80 tight end yards. Bryce
killed it. He's been on the show.
Yep.
He's a great dude. Congrats, Bryce.
Absolutely.
We're going to keep the ball rolling with Drake Maye rookies. People obviously are liking it. We're getting a lot of entries, which is great.
Drake May's killing it right now.
Killing it, breaking all these records. So we're going to keep the ball rolling with the Drake Maye rookie cards. We got a Rookie Rising Phoenix rookie Drake Maye giveaway this week. So we're going to be asking for total wide receiver yards from both teams this week.
I like it.
So both teams against the Browns, total wide receiver yards, if they're listed as a wide receiver on either team, whatever they get for receiving yards, that's what we're asking for this week. So good luck to everybody, and let's jump right into the Wicked Pissah news.
Absolutely, Frankie. So like last week, the Bruins started, man. They started off hot, but they're looking like right now.
4 losses in a row?
Yes,
Come
sir.
on, bro.
So like my boy Frankie just said, 4 straight losses. So let's break down their record. So currently the Bruins are 3-4 on the season, tied for 4th in the Atlantic. And let's break down what they did this past week. They lost their second straight, this time 6-5, a road loss to the Golden Knights. Then a third straight loss and another road loss, this time 4-1 to the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And lastly, a 4th straight loss, this time 3-2 on the road versus the Mammoth.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they have another game tonight, but again, they have the Panthers at home. Panthers aren't easy.
Marchand.
Marchand coming back. I mean, I know Kachuk's out, and it's in Boston, so we'll see how that goes. But three of those 4 losses in a row have been by 1 goal, which we don't like to see. We talked about that a lot last year. We lost a lot of 1-goal games.
Right.
Never good. I mean, 3 of those teams are pretty good that they played this past week, so it's like, what can you do? But at the end of the day, we gotta get back on it.
Started off hot, man. Like you said, 4 straight. They got to correct it.
Right. I mean, they put up 3 goals, 5 goals, 2 goals, and 1 goal. So I mean, it's like you got to get back to scoring goals and
play some defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Frankie, let's get into some MLB. We got the World Series coming up, but I just got to bring up something from the Dodgers game, man. Historic night,
Everybody's seen this.
This guy, Brohei Ohtani, man. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Hey.
So let's break it down. So Shohei Ohtani had a historic Friday night in the Dodgers NLCS series sweeping win over the Brewers, which the Dodgers won 5-1.
Yep.
Ohtani hit 3 home runs in the game and also recorded 10 Ks in 6 innings, winning the NLCS MVP.
Didn't give up a run.
That's what I'm saying. And like I just said, he won the NLCS MVP, and rightfully so. But Frankie, listen to these records that he broke real quick. I broke them down.
Absolutely.
So he became the first starting pitcher to hit a leadoff home run in the regular season or playoffs.
Yep.
First player in MLB history with 3 home runs in a game where he struck out at least 5 batters. He struck out 10.
Yep.
One of 3 players ever to hit 3 home runs in a game that also pitched first since 1942. And before that was 1886.
Yep.
First player to twice have 10-plus strikeouts as a pitcher and 2 home runs at the plate in a game.
Insane.
First pitcher in a postseason history with a multi-home run game, and the first Dodgers pitcher to hit a home run in the postseason, and now he holds the Dodgers record for most strikeouts through 2 career playoff games with 17.
Animal, best ever possibly. I mean, that's how he pitches and hits. It's
Unreal.
Insane. His swing is sick, too.
Mind you, this was also the first time Ohtani pitched in 13 days when starting pitchers usually thrive on a 5-day schedule.
Kid's an animal.
You know what I'm saying? And the guy had been in a bit of a slump by his usual numbers, Frankie, going 6 for 38 in the playoffs.
I was saying he was due.
That's what I'm saying. 8-game home run drought after hitting a franchise record 55 in the regular season. So I hate to say it, Frankie, but the Dodgers, they look primed to win their second straight World Series.
We called it in the before we even started baseball, we talked about it, and we both predicted the Dodgers be there. So, I mean, it is what it is.
But, Frankie, speaking of the World Series, why don't you bring up who they're going to be playing?
I mean, the Blue Jays, it's cool that's from the AL East. It's cool that's a Canadian team. I mean, honestly, it's really kind of a cool situation, but I feel so bad for
the
Seattle.
Mariners, yeah.
I mean, we've been rooting for Cal Raleigh. He's had a historic season as well, and they have never once been to the World Series.
No.
There's like 5 or 6 teams that have never won. but they've been to the World Series. The Seattle's the only team that has never had a chance to even play.
Yeah,
as good as they've had Rodriguez and Griffey. We talked about it, and as good as Cal Raleigh was this year, and they were up like in the 6th or 7th inning. They were up by 2 runs.
They were right there.
George Springer hit a 3-run home run to put them up 4-3, and the Blue Jays
very unfortunate.
Went on to the World Series. So
yeah, man, they'll be back.
Yeah, buddy. So
let's just say this though, I'm going to be rooting for the Blue Jays.
Me too, absolutely. I want the Dodgers to win 2 in a row.
Hell no. Well, Frankie, let's get into some NBA news.
Yeah,
We actually got a former Celtic who's going to be retiring from the
saw
NBA.
That, saw that.
So former Celtic Malcolm Brogdon retires from the NBA after 9 seasons. He actually signed with the Knicks back in September, but decided to call it a career. He said, the Knicks. The 2016 second-round pick out of Virginia to the Bucks won Rookie of the Year and was selected to the NBA All-Rookie First Team.
Yep.
After the Bucks and a few seasons with the Pacers, like I was just talking about, our Celtics traded for him, where he would go on to win Sixth Man of the Year in 2023. 14.9 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game. The dude was great for us.
He was really good for us, actually.
Absolutely. A versatile guard with a high basketball IQ who could play multiple guard positions, who was eventually dealt the injury bug. You know, that was definitely a factor in his retirement decision. So he had a good career, man. Wish he could have got a ring and everything. I'm glad he didn't play for the Knicks.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, Frankie, let's get into some NFL news,
we
brother.
Got some sad news,
yeah,
though.
man, we got to bring this up.
I love this
That's
dude,
what I'm
man.
saying,
That's what I'm
man.
saying.
So, former NFL running back Doug Martin passed away late last week at 36 years old.
Crazy, man. Young.
Yeah, man. They didn't know what was going on at first when they announced news, but apparently he became unresponsive after being arrested by Oakland PD after he was supposedly breaking into a home early Saturday morning. Yeah. And when officers found him inside, he briefly resisted and then started experiencing a medical emergency where he eventually became unresponsive.
So crazy. I mean, I'm sure that we'll learn more about the story, but it's like, this is so sad. I mean, obviously, to even be doing that, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Now he's passed away.
Known as the Muscle Hamster, he spent 7 seasons in the NFL after being a late first-round pick with the Bucks in 2012. He spent 6 seasons with the Bucks as well as 1 with the Raiders, for his hometown Oakland Raiders.
Yep.
And rushed for 5,356 yards, 30 rush touchdowns, more than 1,200 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. So, you know, praise to his family, friends, and former teammates. You know, gone way too soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rest in peace, Doug Martin.
Sir.
So, Frankie, we got some more injuries we got to bring up, brother.
Yeah, always.
Yes, sir. Another guy from my fantasy team. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a hamstring injury Sunday versus the Cowboys.
It looked worse than that.
Right, it did. It did, man.
It was his knee.
And was ruled out. The injury is not significant, thankfully, but his status for Monday versus the Chiefs will be announced later in the week, so I'm going to see what happens with that.
Yep.
Another quarterback here that's probably going to miss this upcoming week. Panthers quarterback Bryce Young suffered a high ankle sprain Sunday versus the Jets and was ruled out, and he's expected to miss Week 8.
Andy Dalton.
Yes,
Coming
sir.
in relief.
Dolphins tight end Darren Waller suffered a pectoral injury Sunday versus the Browns. Is considered week to week, and he avoided a major injury, apparently. I guess it could have been way worse. He could have been done for the year almost, they thought.
Insane.
And then, Frankie, I got to bring this up, man, because it doesn't look like our boy Mike Evans is going to be getting 1,000 yards this year.
Not this year.
So Bucks wide receiver Mike Evans suffered a concussion and a broken clavicle Monday night versus the Lions, and he could miss the rest of the season. Possibly come back towards the end, but they might hold him out. But again, man, he's probably not. He's 100% not getting that 1,000 yards.
No, there's no way he's getting that. And, you know, if you're smart, you hold him out. But that's only if you're not in the playoff contention. If you're in contention, you might bring him back, at least for the playoffs.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I mean? So
And
we'll see how it
I
goes.
think the Bucks will make the playoffs, and thankfully they got an
He was
arsenal of
unconscious. That was a gross looking.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
when he hit the ground, immediately unconscious. It was crazy.
So, man, wish him the best. Obviously,
Absolutely.
love Mike Evans, man.
So
Been
good.
the model of consistency as a wide receiver.
Yeah, you hate to see him get injured last year,
Right.
and now this year twice. So it's
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
it's
bro.
tough, man.
And then we got to bring up one notable custom
is
this
cool.
past week, Frankie. So the Titans are actually releasing veteran wide receiver Tyler Lockett after he
surprised.
asked for. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, he asked for a release because the Titans weren't even using him, dude.
I'm saying this is a good thing for like other teams. Like I hope the Pats look at him too.
Yeah,
you know what I
man,
mean? He
veteran
played with-
leadership.
You know what I mean? He played on the Titans, but it's like I don't know. I feel like he's really good when he was with Seattle.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. He was good in Seattle, but with the Titans in 7 games, 10
Terrible.
receptions for 70 yards. I mean, come on. Let's see where he goes next, man. The guy deserves another shot. He's still a good receiver
I
and
think he's a
everything.
good receiver.
Mind you, that whole system over there in Tennessee looks like ass, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
But Frankie, let's get into some notable signings that happened this past week.
Yep.
I only got 2 notable ones here. The Commanders signed wide receiver Traylon Burks, the former first-round pick of the Titans in 2022. The Commanders are banged up at wide receiver and desperately need the help. Burks has been injury-plagued himself, dealing with 6 injuries since his rookie year, including a torn ACL and a fractured collarbone.
Yeah, he was a high pick for them too. He
That's
didn't do
what I'm
much.
saying.
I mean, he seems like he has some talent, so we'll see.
Let's see if he can revive his career in Washington. And then Frankie, this dude's back, man. He retired and now he's back, bro.
Yeah.
The Eagles are signing the recently retired defensive end Brandon Graham. Terms of the deal are not disclosed, but the 2-time Super Bowl champ and longest tenured Eagle, looking to be returning for reinforcement for that team that needs pass rush help for his 16th season.
Yeah, good for him. He
Yeah,
should.
man. So they definitely need the help over there. But Frankie, before we get out of Wicked Pissah News, I just wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
So we don't usually get into the D3 schools and everything, but this running back named Montie Quinn of Curry College,
Curry, baby.
what he did over Nichols this past week is insane. I'm going to show the pic here. He had 20 carries for 522 rush yards and 7 freaking touchdowns, setting the NCAA record across all divisions for rushing yards in a game. In the 71-27 win, he averaged nearly 27 yards per carry.
Something like that. Crazy. Yeah.
Mind you, the previous NCAA and D3 record was 465 in 2013 by Heidelberg's Cartel Brooks, and the FBS record for rushing yards was 427 by Samaje Perine for Oklahoma in 2014.
Yep.
The kid could have had more. He sat out the final 2 drives, but he's topped 110 yards in all of 6 of Curry's games so far, going over 203 times. Insane.
It's insane. I took a few classes at Curry, actually. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's killing it over there, man.
Awesome, man.
Good stuff, Frankie.
Another great Wicked Pissah News. Let's jump into a Foxboro focus.
Man, Frankie, last year, man, Foxboro focus was a rough thing to go through every game, every week. You know what I mean? They looked like
No
this year, man.
No more of this. More of this
That's
this year.
what I'm saying, bro.
Let's go.
So let's break it down real quick. The Week 7 recap. So the Patriots beat the Titans 31-13, bringing their record to 5-2. Bro, I heard people on the radio saying that we were gonna have 5 wins max, and we're already 5-2, bro.
Insane, dude. And honestly, we could be 6-1 or even undefeated.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, we talk about it every week. Week 1, you kind of just throw it out there like, week 1, new coach, new system, whatever. But you're up at halftime against not a great team in Vegas, right?
Yep,
we were up at halftime
That's
at
what I'm
home.
saying.
Could have won that one. And we didn't lose to Pittsburgh.
We beat ourselves.
Yep. 5 turnovers, several.
And we still almost won.
We only lost by 1.
Yep.
And we had 5 turnovers, 2 in the red zone.
Frankie, let's show the highlights real quick,
it.
brother.
Week 6, Patriots at Titans. First Titans drive, they get into field goal range, and they're settling for a 49-yard field goal by former Patriots kicker Joey Slye to make the score 3-0. Next Patriots drive, they're going to start by handing off to running back Ramondre Stevenson, who gets a nice 8-yard gain to the outside. Been wanting to get him involved more, and it started off good. The Patriots will get into the red zone, and Drake Maye is going to be dropping back, but unfortunately, he's going to be sacked by linebacker Jihad Ward. After the sack on 4th and 12, the Patriots are settling for a 36-yard field goal by rookie kicker Andres Borregales to make the score 3-3. Next Titans drive, and only a few plays in, Cam Ward's going to be rolling out to the right, and he's looking downfield for wide receiver Chimere Dike for a 38-yard touchdown to go up on the Patriots 10-3. Yeah, Cam Ward was looking good in the first quarter of this game. Fast forward to the start of the second quarter after a few stops by each team. Drake Maye's feeling the pressure, and he's going to be running it up the middle, and he's going to be taking it for a nice 19-yard gain to get the drive going. Same drive a few plays later. Drake Maye is going to be looking downfield for the veteran Mac Hollins for a nice 22-yard gain to get into the red zone. Facing 3rd and goal and trying to tie the game, Drake Maye is going to be taking the snap out of the shotgun, and he's looking for tight end Austin Hoop. There it is, Hooper for a game-tying 3-yard touchdown. Gonna be putting that on ESPN like, you got mossed. Next Titans drive with a little under 2 minutes left in the half. They're gonna settle for a 50-yard field goal by kicker Joey Slye to make the score 13-10. But on the ensuing Patriots drive with a little under a minute left in the half, Drake Maye is looking downfield for his boy wide receiver Keyshawn Butte for a nice 39-yard touchdown. He burned cornerback L'Jarius Sneed for the nice fingertip grab to take the lead. Start of the second half, Patriots drove down the field, and Drake Maye is going to be handing it off to running back Ramondre Stevenson, and he's going to walk it in for a 4-yard touchdown to increase the lead. Then on the very first play of the Titans' next drive, Cam Ward's going to be feeling the pressure by defensive end KLava Chason, who technically gets a sack, and Cam Ward fumbles it, and KLava Chason's going to pick it up and walk it in for a 4-yard fumble recovery touchdown. Then again on the next Titans drive, Cam Ward's feeling the pressure some more, this time by defensive tackle Milton Williams for a 10-yard loss to bring it up to 4th down. Fast forward to the end of the fourth quarter, there were a lot of punts going on up to this point, and Cam Ward's going to be picked off by the Swiss Army knife Marcus Jones, and he's going to be taking it back 32 yards, and that's basically going to be the game sailor right there. Mike Vrabel gets some sweet revenge over the team that he used to coach, and the Patriots go on to win 31-13 over the Titans on the road, bringing their record to 5-2.
Love it, bro.
Yeah.
Started off a little slow there, but they always figure it out. The defense always seems to allow them to drive down the field, and they open a drive. We saw it in the Panthers game we went to, and then they just figure it out, bro.
They gave up 10 points pretty quick, and then they only gave up 3 the rest of the game.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's crazy.
So this is what I noticed from the offense, Frankie. Let's break it down real quick. So like we said last week, Drake Maye is that guy. He went 21 for 23, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. But check this out and look at this pick here. Drake Maye now has the best completion percentage in a game in Patriots history with 91.3% this past game. More than this guy named Tom Brady. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, buddy.
You know what I'm saying, bro? The kid just needs to learn when to slide, obviously. He got that little concussion scare there and everything.
Like,
you know, Josh Dobbs came in.
I'm saying, he had so many records. I took a few pictures and screenshots of different ones I saw. Like, first QB in NFL history with a 6 games, in 6 games, any sort of 6 games in a row.
Yep.
150 plus pass attempts, 75% completion percentage, 125 plus passer rating with 150 plus rushing yards. First guy to ever do that.
Awesome.
In history of NFL. So,
dude, you gotta love that, bro.
There was a few other ones like just for the franchise. Never mind, that's an NFL thing. So it's like that's insane. 6 games, insane.
So they posted over 175 rushing yards. Mind you, our boy Travion Henderson, he only had 2 touches the whole game, which is ridiculous. But Stevenson looked good. 18 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. And Drake Maye was running good out there. Obviously, needs to learn to slide.
You got to slide better than that.
They got the rushing yards going like we were talking about. We had to boost that. We had our problems on third down, only 5 for 12, but 100% 2 for 2 on fourth down, showing the clutchness there. Regardless of 4 sacks, though, allowed by our O-line, 0 turnovers, Frankie, for the second straight game. We got to keep that up.
Oh, that's where it's at,
You know what I'm saying, bro?
That's a fact.
And then here's what I noticed from the defense, Frankie. So, second straight game not allowing 20 points in 3rd out of the last 4. Racking up the sacks with 5, 2 turnovers, 1 fumble recovery by a touchdown by KLava Chase on, as we saw in the highlights, and a nice INT by Marcus Jones, bro.
Jones, yeah. A couple weeks in a row with him. So
guys are making plays out there. Yeah. Our stout run defense continuously holding it down. 7th straight game this year, not allowing a 50-yard rusher. The only team in the NFL to do that this year so far. Yep. They only held them to 39 total rush yards, bro.
I love it.
Again, though, our pass defense, especially at safety, needs help like we've been talking about. Cam Ward was looking efficient early on, like we just said.
Yeah, he was. And I that's something else we talked about the last few weeks is that that first drive, again, we were at the game. Bryce Young went right down the field, scored. It was
in
like,
the beginning.
We got to get hyped up before the game and stop that opening drive. I feel like, you know what I mean.
Regardless, though, I was happy the way the defense played and everything.
After that drive, they played great.
Absolutely. So. And then, Frankie, we got this upcoming Week 8 versus the Browns after 3 games on the road and everything. We're back home and everything. Got the Browns, Dylan Gabriel.
You know what I mean?
Especially if we kill Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders might be going in.
All right. I think we'll be all right.
So let's break down what the Browns did this past week. So the Browns demolished the Dolphins 31-6 in Week 7, bringing their record to 2-5.
I told you that last week. I should have took the Browns too. I was thinking about it. I was like, this is gonna be a game.
There's only one guy on that offense I'm worried about, and that's rookie running back Quinshaw Judkins. 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. But we have the rush defense capable of containing him. Tight end Harold Fanning, he might get his too. It seems like Dylan Gabriel likes throwing his way. Yeah. And there's only one guy in that defense I'm afraid of, and that's obviously Myles Garrett, bro. 5 sacks on the year, which seems low by his standards. But, he had 1 last week. But his presence opens up things for other pass rushers.
Ain't bad, though.
That's what I'm saying. But his presence, it does open up things for other pass rushers as well.
Yeah, of course.
Considering, we allowed 4 last week versus the Titans without Jeffrey Simmons playing, we got to work on that, obviously, especially with him on the D-line. Yep. So, but Frankie, let's get into the prediction. Obviously, I'm 100% taking the Patriots
too. It's not even a question.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We got this.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Another great Foxboro focus. We love when they win. Let's jump into a wicked smart fantasy stats. What do you got? Let's go.
50-50 for me this week, bro.
Let's go.
I'm going to break it down
real
quick.
I'm 50-50 too.
Yes, sir. So we'll start in my league. So last week in my league, I lost 173.28 to 121.04, bringing my record to 3-4. That's going to happen when you play against 2 guys that have 3 touchdowns each and a quarterback throwing 5 touchdowns.
That will happen.
So here are my studs real quick. I didn't have a lot of them, but wide receiver A.J. Brown, he was starting to look good again. 28.1, 121 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said in Foxboro Focus, running back Ramondre Stevenson, 16.8. He had a touchdown, 88 rush yards. And then tight end Tucker Kraft, 16.8. He had 58 receiving yards and a touchdown. Yep. But here are my duds, man. What's going on with Roma Dunze, bro? He started off so hot, bro. 2 games in a row now. Only 5.1.
Well, Caleb Williams played like Duke.
I know. He
5 points.
I was going to say 4 points or something like that.
5.6. That's it.
He had,
I took him out last minute. I was like, I don't know. I had a weird feeling.
I don't blame you. But yeah, Roma Dunze only had 2 catches for 31 yards. Running back Ashton Janty, 4.4, only 34 all-purpose yards. The whole Raiders offense looks like kid. Take out Geno Smith, please.
fact.
Wide receiver Jordan Whittington. I figure, without Puka there, this guy's going to be number 2.
I picked out Tutu, and I almost thought him. I didn't. He got 0 points, too.
Yeah, and Whittington only got me 2.9, 2 catches for 9 yards.
Crazy.
Wide receiver Luke McCaffrey. Everybody was missing from the Commanders. I'm like, hey, this guy's wide receiver run. He's been getting touchdowns and
He
everything.
got lit up, too. I thought he was unconscious at one point in that
0
game.
points.
Yeah, he didn't.
Goose
He got hit hard. I thought he was out the game.
Yeah, he was done, bro. And then tight end Sam Laporta, bro. He was starting to look good for 2 games and everything. Nope, not this week. Only 4.5, 3 catches for 15 yards.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Frankie, how'd you do in my league?
I won again. I'm in first in your league, even though I lost Tyreek Hill, my 2nd or 3rd round pick, whenever the hell I picked him. But yeah, I'm doing good. I got the most points, and I'm in first. Only got 1 loss this year. I thought Justin was going to get me because he started some. Devonta Smith went crazy. He had more than half his points in the whole season in this one game.
Bro.
But nonetheless, my studs, Bo Nix. I swapped out Caleb, but Caleb had a good matchup. But they said
something points.
Yeah, but going into the 4th quarter, Bo Nix had like 10 points.
Yeah, I know.
And that game, which we were going to talk about, we should talk about it right now. That game was the craziest game I ever watched. If you saw that Denver Giants game, they were down 19-0, and I'm going to bring up a stat that it was the most insane stat I think I've ever seen. So I took a picture of it because I always like, oh, that's a cool stat. So the 33-32 was the final score of that game, right? Giants kept scoring. They missed an extra point at the end.
Right.
Opens the door for Denver, right? Denver trailed 19-0 going into the 4th quarter. 19-0. So again, Bo Nix didn't even have 10 points yet. He had 43, mind you, at the end for fantasy.
I know, it's crazy.
But 33 points in the 4th quarter is the 2nd most 4th quarter points in NFL history. That's how many points Denver put up. Again, they were down 19-0. They won 33-32. Teams are 2 and 3,677 when trailing by 18 or more with 6 minutes left. Okay, since 1970.
That's wild.
So there was 6 minutes left, and they were trailing by 18 or more. They were trailing by 19.
That's wild, bro.
Bo Nix, first in NFL history with 2 TD passes and 2 rushing touchdowns in the 4th quarter. Insane. So nonetheless, he went nuts for me. They went crazy. Jamar Chase went crazy, 38.1 points. So right there, I got 75 points.
Right.
No, almost 80 something points. I have 82 points right there.
Yep.
Crazy. Trey McBride went nuts again, 29 points, and DeAndre Swift, 20 points. So great game. My duds, I picked up Jaden Higgins. Christian Kirk was out. He had like 7 targets last week, 0 points. I thought he'd do much better. They were trailing Seattle too, which we both should have took Seattle. We talked
the game
about
script
that.
would have called for them having a pass.
And then Breece Hall 7.2 and Travis Etienne only had 6.5.
Yeah.
Again, he played real bad. So those were kind of my duds this week. So,
but yeah, your team, man, with Bo Nix and especially Jamar Chase, that was a good combo right there.
Yeah, no, they've been good. I mean, I hate losing Tyreek Hill and having like a bum in 3rd position there. But what can you do? How did you do in my league?
So Frankie, in your league, I put up a number this week, bro. I won 192.74 to 120.74, bringing my record to 3-4 in this league as well. But I'm in the 5th spot with the points that I've been putting up and everything.
You're doing good.
So I'm gonna bring up my studs real quick. I got quarterback Jalen Hurts getting me 28.4, 3 pass touchdowns. Wide receiver Jordan Addison actually got more points than Justin Jefferson. He got me 22.8, 128 receiving yards. Jonathan Taylor, bro, #1 fantasy player in the league, just killing it, bro. 34.2, 132 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns. He leads the league in total touchdowns with 11. The next best is 7.
Crazy.
Running back Javonte Williams. It's funny, actually. I got Jonathan Taylor and Javonte Williams, the #1 and #2 running back in terms of rush yards. I got them both on my team. 19.80 and 116 rush yards and a touchdown on that one. And the Patriots defense, bro, they got me 23 points like we were talking about. 5 sacks, an interception, a fumble recovery touchdown, and here are my duds. And every week I'm just going to keep this guy on this side. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, 3.7, man. I mean, it's just kind of rough, man. He needs to get traded to a better team, bro. He's a good receiver.
He went crazy last year. He's terrible this
That's
year.
what I'm saying. He had Jameis Winston throwing his way.
I like when Jameis is out there, but he's not on their team no more.
Right. And then with Calvin Ridley being out, I started wide receiver Elick Ayumana for the Titans, even though it was against the Pats, started getting more looks, and now only 4.9. They were throwing more to Chimere DK.
Yeah.
But Frankie, how'd you do in your league?
I lost again, dude. I'm in 2nd to last place. This is the worst I've ever had, like forever in my league.
I've never seen you that low.
I have more points than the guy in 3rd place and in 4th place right now. So I don't have more points than you. I know you're in 5th, but I have more points than the guy I just lost to by 150.
Yeah.
Okay, so his team went crazy. Again, no offense, Nick, but you don't even have 1,000 points yet. Nonetheless, I'm almost at 1,100, and I keep losing every week. I get somebody putting up $190. I'm putting up 150, 160 religiously, but unfortunately, my team lost again. So some of my studs, I had Josh Allen on a bye, but I have Drake Maye on the bench. Drake Maye had 23 points. I started Tez Johnson, who had a really good game, almost 16 points. DeAndre Swift, I have in both leagues, 22 points almost. And Brandon Aubrey, my kicker, 18.5 points, killing it. So duds. Again, my team is fairly consistent. I put up 154 points. It's not bad.
Right.
You know, Ted McMillan had 6. Saquon, I might just drop, and I told everybody, if you guys, I might just drop. I'm literally at this point, he had 5.2 points. The guy is the worst first-round pick I've ever had for somebody that has not been injured. Okay,
It's crazy.
It is awful. Okay, and then Denver's D only got me 7, so those were kind of my duds at this point. But
Yeah, that was a surprise, man. Especially against
Unbelievable.
the Giants. I mean, the Giants, they've been looking better, but I didn't think they'd have that kind of performance against their
I can't
defense.
believe I keep losing. Every time I put up any sort of points, somebody puts up 200, 190.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's one of those situations, bro.
Yep. So what can you do?
But Frankie, going into week 8, I'm gonna bring up my weekly
Let's
sleepers,
see what you
brother.
got, brother.
So I'm gonna start with Bears running back Kyle Montie at the Ravens.
I like
So
that.
Montie had 15 total touches to DeAndre Swift's 20. The kid had 13 carries for 81 yards and a rush touchdown last week, and his usage could easily continue against the rough-looking Ravens rush defense.
Yep.
The Ravens rush defense ranks 26th in their allowing the most points per game with 32.3. Not only that, they've allowed the second most rush yards this year, tied for second most rush touchdowns, and the second most fantasy points to running backs.
Yep.
So even though Swift will be getting the majority of looks, Montie's usage has been increasing, so the potential for a good week is here. And then number 2, I'm going to bring up this guy again, man, just because the potential is there, and he actually had it. I know it was a tip touchdown last week, but Broncos wide receiver Troy Franklin versus the Cowboys. I got high hopes for Franklin this week. I'm just surprised he doesn't get used more with the targets. He's been getting as of recent. He's had at least 5 targets 3 of the last 4 weeks, with him having 10 targets last week, tied for first on the team with Sutton versus the Giants. Surprisingly, only 3 receptions for 19 yards and a crazy tip drill touchdown like I was just talking about. This week versus Dallas presents many opportunities, especially if cornerback Trevin Diggs misses another game with the concussion. Even though Dallas won 44-22 last week, they allowed 2 no-name wide receivers to go over 50 yards in Chris Moore and Jalen Lane.
Yeah, Moore went nuts.
On top of that, Dallas has the 32nd ranked pass defense as well as the 32nd ranked dead last overall defense, allowing the third most. Dude, they're allowing the third most yards to wide receivers, the most touchdowns to wide receivers, and they've allowed the most fantasy points to wide receivers. That's a recipe for success in my book, dude.
I love it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then number 3, I got Titans wide receiver Elick Ayumaner at the Colts.
Ayumaner, yeah.
So even though his teammate wide receiver Chimere DK had a good game last week versus the Pats,
That's what I have.
I'm still not 100% sold on DK. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. He's going to get his looks too. I think it's going to be a boost for him, especially after last week.
Yeah.
But Ayumaner has either been first or tied second in targets in every game but 2 this year. Tied for second this past week. The Colts do look phenomenal this year, and they will most likely smoke the Titans, but their pass
They got to throw. They're gonna be playing from behind.
That's what I'm saying. But their pass defense ranks 22nd in the game script, like you were just talking about. I'm sure will call for a lot of passing by the Titans.
Absolutely, bro.
The Colts pass defense has also allowed the second most yards to wide receivers, tied third most touchdowns to wide receivers, second most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers, and if you're in a PPR league like me and Frankie, they've allowed the most receptions in the league to wide receivers.
As they should. They're killing people.
That's what I'm saying.
Jonathan Taylor's getting 3 touchdowns a game.
So they look like against wide receivers, apparently. And if Calvin Ridley misses a second straight game with a hamstring injury, which he most likely will, Ayumaner will be wide receiver 1 again. But even if Ridley does play, that may open up things for Ayumaner, so we'll see what happens. I mean, DK will get his looks as well.
I love it, man.
But Frankie, let's hear the FanDuel
I
picks,
got a lot of the same thing going on in my FanDuel. So this week, I went super heavy. I picked the 3 most expensive running backs. I got Taylor, Bijan, and I took CMC every week. So I needed to find some cheap guys in the mix, right? So I have Bo Nix at 7,800. He just had a great game. We just talked about how Dallas is the worst defense in the league, right?
Yep.
So they're 32nd against for fantasy as well. They're all around the worst defense, right? So it's going to be an absolute shootout. I stacked him. I didn't have enough for Franklin. Franklin was $200 more, but I went with Marvin Mims, who also is a speed demon.
Gets a lot
they do
of looks.
end arounds. They get him touches. He was only 5,200. For the same reasons, I feel like that's going to be some kind of a shootout sort of game. I know Denver's defense is good. They haven't looked as good as they have in the past this year. So Denver's defense, so I feel like Dallas is going to score some points either way you look at it. So that's what I did there.
Absolutely.
And then going back to the same game, you're talking about I need discounted guys everywhere. So I took Malik Washington at Atlanta. Okay, I know that Atlanta defense is pretty good, but again, they're going to be playing from behind, right?
Yeah.
Most likely, Atlanta should be up in that game. So 5,200. And then I took DK, who, again, in that game, they're going to be getting smoked by Indy. And you just said it, the second most points given up to fantasy wide receivers. So at the end of the day, he was only 4,900. One of the cheapest guys. And in that same game, for my tight end, I took Chig Okonkwo.
I like it.
So, and that's why I called you Bro Konkwo to start the game.
Yay!
He's only 4,600. So, again, he's going to get a ton of targets this week. They're 27th worst. 27th against tight ends. So, they're like the 5th worst, 6th worst against tight ends, the Indianapolis is. So, I think that's great. And then, again, I took the Saints defense. So,
let's break it down, Frankie. So like you said, man, Bo Nix after that performance last week going against the Dallas defense, you gotta love it. Running back Jonathan Taylor, #1 fantasy player, leading the league in
Dang
touchdowns.
right.
That's my boy right there. Bijan Robinson, man, he's always a sure bet, especially going against Miami's rough-looking
Miami's
defense
terrible.
and everything.
Quinn Sean went crazy. He got 3 TDs against him last week.
I know, bro. Then you got Malik Washington. He's a high-volume guy without Tyreek there,
Yep.
man. He's more like their wide receiver 2 right now.
Yep.
Shamir DK, he did good last week against the Pats and everything,
Yep.
and I mean, it's kind of open for volume over there with the Tennessee wide receivers.
They're going to be throwing a lot. They're going to be getting smoked by Indy.
Marvin Mims, man, he gets the end arounds, he gets the rush opportunities, and he's good in the receiving game. So we'll see what he can do with the Broncos over there, especially against Dallas's defense. They're
Dallas is
horrible
terrible,
against the
terrible.
pass. Tight end Chigo Conk, bro, like you
Bro.
were talking about, man. He's
My
going to
guy.
get his looks. Like I said, man, the Titans are going to be passing all game. They're going to be from behind.
Yep.
Flexing, you know, you got Christian McCaffrey. That's always a sure bet. And then
Yep.
the Saints defense against the banged-up Bucks.
They're banged up, and it just needed a cheap defense. I was like, Saints defense is okay. You know what I mean? They've held a couple teams in check. So
That's it, Frankie. Best of luck to you, brother.
let's get into a LaCava round. We split the difference last week. We had 2 differences. You're still up 1 on me. I should have took the Browns. I didn't go on my gut. Not happening no more.
I hear you,
Let's get
brother.
into this week. What's our records? What do we got?
So, Frankie, NFL weekly picks, week 7. Like
Yes,
you said, we
sir.
split the differences. So, Frankie, last week you went 11-4, bringing your overall record to 70-37-1.
Yep.
Then I went 11-4 as well, bringing
Nice,
my
dude.
overall record to 71-36-1. You know, you
Good
took
stuff.
the Commanders, I took the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and then you took the 49ers, I took the Falcons. So we
yep.
split the difference there and everything. But Frankie, let's get into those NFL Week 8 picks. You name them, we'll
Let's
predict them,
do
brother.
it. Vikings at the Chargers. Who you got?
So Wentz is going to be starting again. I'm taking the Chargers here. They're
I'm
gonna
going
bounce back.
Chargers. It's at home. I mean, the Vikings have looked like Dookie with Wentz, in my opinion. So
I like that he's throwing to Addison, though.
the Addison got some good targets, but I feel like the Chargers are going to get back on it now that they're home. I don't know. That's going to be a close game, though.
I agree.
Dolphins at Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta by 1,000.
You know I'm taking the Falcons
Yeah,
there, bro.
that's
I don't
not
even
even
care,
a
man.
question.
No question.
Bears at Ravens. I don't think Lamar's playing. Still hasn't practiced yet, but I don't know yet. We'll see. It was yesterday he didn't practice, so what do you got on him?
Honestly, bro, you know, like, since you just said that, you know, Lamar's not playing, you know, you want to lean
I think he's not, but I mean, we don't know yet. They're hoping he's back, but they're not going to rush him back either.
That's right.
So
But I'll be honest, I'm taking the Bears here.
Bears have beat some teams this year too, and I don't think Lamar's going to play. I don't know. He did not practice yesterday. We'll see. I'm going the Bears either way, but if Lamar plays, it's going to be the Ravens. Let's
Yeah,
be
but
real.
I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah,
there.
it's Tuesday. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm going Bears too. You know,
We're
easy.
wrong. We're wrong.
Yeah, Jets at Bengals. I'm actually taking the Bengals. I know the Jets could win this game, but they're
Yeah.
so bad this year. So
Taking
it's
the
like,
Bengals,
yeah.
100%.
Joe Flacco looked like an animal last week, beating Pittsburgh.
Gonna
So
beat his former team in the Jets.
I love it. Bills at Panthers. Bryce Young ain't playing. I was taking the Bills either way, even though the Panthers pretty good at home. Who you got?
Bills may have lost 2 straight, but they're not losing 3 straight, especially against a second-string quarterback
Not
in Andy
after a
Dalton.
bye week too.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
49ers at Texans. This is an interesting game. I thought we both took the Texans. I thought the defense started to
Right,
step up.
right.
They played
Surprised.
not as good. I mean, they lost by 8, but still, I don't know. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, man, I'm going to be taking the 49ers here. I just think they're surging at the right
Yeah,
time.
I like the 49ers, dude. They're just doing all the right things, and they're giving the Christian McCaffrey the ball like 50 times a
Right.
game, which is what you need to do, right? So
Kittle had 0 catches last week, and they won.
a 0. I know. I started them in one of my other leagues, a guillotine league.
Crazy.
Browns at Pats. We're both going Pats there. Giants at Eagles. Giants playing some good ball. Who you taking?
And recently, you know, this game was a few weeks ago. The Giants beat the Eagles on Thursday night.
saying.
But I'm going to be taking the Eagles in this
I
one,
got to take
especially
the
in
Eagles
Philly.
at home. I got to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
The banged up Bucks going to the Saints. Who you got there?
You know I'm not taking the Saints, bro. I'm taking the Bucks here.
Honestly, the Saints could upset them here, but I got to go with the Bucks because Baker Mayfield's there. He's just
Right.
been an animal. Titans at Colts. We kind of already talked about that. Colts all day.
Yeah,
every
dude.
day.
Yeah, I'm definitely not taking the Titans at any point this year so far, so I'm taking the Colts.
The only real game of the week that we may have a difference on is the Cowboys going to the Broncos. Who do you got in that game? That's the most interesting game to me this week.
So I can already tell you're going to take the Cowboys, so I'm going to be taking the Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos. You know I'm not
Oh,
taking the
God,
damn
what?
Cowboys. I didn't even take the Cowboys last week, and I should have. Against the banged-up Commanders. They called you up to come stop wide receiver, and I still took
Yeah,
the Commanders.
right.
But I do think the Cowboys will put up numbers, but I think in Denver, and Denver's defense, you know, is one of the better defenses. They should get it together. I do like that, and I think they're fired up after that comeback
I
against the
agree.
Giants. But, I mean, honestly, if the Giants put up that many points against them, Cowboys could easily win this game.
Right, bro.
Packers at Steelers. Who you got there?
So I'm going to be taking Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers to get it back at Aaron Rodgers' old
Really?
team. I'm taking the Steelers in Pittsburgh over the Packers. Bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the biggest stories of the week. 40-something-year-old Aaron Rodgers going against his former team, and
I
he's going to
mean,
give him a
if
beat
the
down.
NFL's scripted like everyone says it is,
It ain't.
then this would be the game that he's going to win. because of that. But I'm going to take the Packers. So I think the Packers just are a little bit better of a team. But
I'm taking the Steelers.
it's going to be a good. That's going to be a good game too. Commanders at Chiefs. Commanders are so banged up. There's no way I'm taking the Commanders. I'm going
man, as much as I hate the Chiefs, bro, especially if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, which even if he does, they're really banged up at wide receiver. They're banged up all over the team, especially on defense. Taking the Chiefs there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The Chiefs all day. And so we had one difference, dude. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir, brother.
Another great live round, another great show. Good luck,
sir.
everybody in your fantasy. Thanks for sharing. Keep sharing it and watching the video.
You'll float too. You'll float too.
That I don't know what the that was, Frank.
I don't either. But yeah, again,
finish your
everybody,
lines, bro.
thank you for sharing and subscribing. We really do.
You'll float too. 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 You'll float too.
Frank, this is freaking me the
Well, I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now we aren't strangers, are we?
dude, Frank. what the is it this week?
It's actually probably the coolest thing I've seen in a long time, and I can't wait to see this. Welcome to Derry. It's like a prequel to It. If you like the scary movies and you like It, I mean, this is going to be sick.
HBO be coming up with some good TV
I'm
shows.
saying this
too.
is going to be so cool. I love stuff like this. It's
Absolutely.
creepy too.
All right, Frank. All right, Pennywise.
Yeah.
Why the is he staring at me like Frankie? Let's get out
We
of
gotta
here.
go from title town to your town. Stay wicked, Pissah.
From Foxboro to your boat. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Frank, what the Oh. What the